Your attention, please. And now, on with the show.
Live from Paradise Studios in New York, Strong Island Television presents Under the Radar, starring Randy Unger. Brought to you by Magnitude Jewelry. Add a 2 to match your attitude. Tonight, Randy will be interviewing film producer turned jam entrepreneur, Jam Hogrewe of Just Jams. Randy will also be reviewing the new films Carol of the Bells, Escape from Pretoria, and The Invisible Man, with special guest critics Matt Rory and Justin Miles. And now, here's your host, Randy Unger.
Hey guys, welcome to Under the Radar. I'm your host Randy Unger, where we talk all things film. And right now we have a special guest through Skype. She's a former film producer turned jam entrepreneur. This is Jan Hogrewe of the jam collection and business Just Jams. Jan, hello, how are you?
I'm great, thanks. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Oh, this is great. Thank you so much. How's everything in California, by the way?
It's cloudy, actually. I'm in Southern California, and we'd like to get some rain before we hear the D word, the drought word again. But
right.
But it's cloudy today, and it's perfectly nice.
Okay. And I see your lovely laboratory in the back. Is that where you create many of your jams?
That is the place. Like I was mentioning earlier, if it doesn't start in my head before I go to bed at night, it ends up, at least it starts here in the kitchen. So, yeah.
Nice. So I want to start from the beginning. You were originally a film producer. How did you go from that profession to jam entrepreneur?
That's a good question. Yeah, I studied film in college, so that was my chosen career path. And then I was in it for a number of years. I worked at Warner Brothers for a number of years. My husband at the time and I had a production company, and we produced a lot of behind the scenes and DVD specials. And so that business, after many, many years, the creativity started waning a bit. And I was going through some personal changes in my own life. And so I would always make jam. I had a fig tree in my backyard, which I planted. And
that's cool.
Didn't know it would become a business. Anyway, it grew so well, and the figs were just dropping that I figured I better do something with them. So I ended up making fig jam. So fast forward a few years later, when I'm sharing a jar of this with a friend of mine at Starbucks, local Starbucks here, and he introduced me to someone who happened to be in the food industry, who of course wanted to taste it and said, "I like this better than what's on the market. Would you ever consider doing this for a living?" Wow. And that was the question that changed my career path. I said yes.
That's so cool.
No hesitation, nothing. I just dove in.
Have you always
started again?
Have you always been into food and cooking?
Yes, I've always loved to be in the kitchen. As a little girl, we had I grew up in Burbank, California, and we had citrus trees. So I would use those to create lemon meringue pies and bake, and so I was always in the kitchen baking as a young girl. Wow. And it never ended. So my love affair with food and sharing has continued.
And have you always lived in areas where fruit was plentiful?
Well, I've been in California my whole life, so I would have to say yes.
Wow. What would you say is your favorite type of jam in your collection?
Okay, well, I brought a visual aid. Is that okay?
Oh, that's wonderful. Okay.
The fig.
The Coda fig, right?
Is what started it all.
That's the Coda fig, if I'm not mistaken?
That is. Wow, you're good.
Yeah, I did a little research. And I'm a huge fig fan. I really am. There's a grocery by my job where they sell dried figs in like pouches. And I think there are Smyrna figs, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. There's so many varieties.
Oh, my God.
Smyrna,
Yeah.
Turkey. Yeah.
It's such a delicious fruit. It's really an underrated snack, I must say.
I agree. I'll have to get you a jar. So
Oh, man.
when we leave, I'll be sending you
That would
a care
be
package.
that would be perfect.
Okay.
Now, is there a difference between your spreads and your jams, or is that basically the same term?
Okay, so there is a difference, and I didn't know this when I got into the industry because I was learning everything. So I don't use enough sugar to be able to legally label it a jam or a jelly. So that's the difference. I have less sugar, so it's a fruit spread, and that is the definition. So
Okay.
yeah, more fruit.
Is there a secret ingredient you can share with us?
Well, it actually nothing is a secret. It's just the love and passion I put into the jar. So that obviously can't be replicated.
I like that.
But it's most of my products have four different ingredients. It's the fruit. We do use pure cane sugar, although I don't use a lot. I use lemon juice and a little bit of apple pectin. That's kind of it. I mean, we have some other, I have curds that are use butter and lemon. But anyway, yeah. So pretty simple ingredients.
Okay. What is your favorite type of bread? I'm curious to put your spread on.
Oh wow. Okay, so I'm gonna go a little further than the bread, even though I love sourdough. So I guess that would be. And I've just learned how to make sourdough bread.
All right.
So I've been it's a process, but I have a new respect for bread making. But I used all of my products. When I got into this, I did it because of my love of cooking. Mm-hmm. So it was more culinary than it was about putting it on toast. So I use it for putting on a cheese platter, making cocktails, doing salad dressings, putting it in a stir fry, like my tangerine marmalade with a little soy sauce and some other things. Just put it over salmon and you've got dinner.
Sounds so good.
There's so many uses for it that I actually include recipe cards when people order to give you to give you other ideas on how to use it besides toast. So we say it's good for everything and toast.
That's so cool. So I'm curious, are you a one-woman band? Is it just you, or do you have a team of jam experts?
Okay, so I was a one-woman band when I started, but this is definitely a team effort. I have the folks that actually make my product for me in bigger batches. I started in my kitchen. I do my formula. I get it down to the gram, and then I send those off to a company that makes them in large kettles, also by hand, but they do 150 gallons at a time.
Wow.
So they are helpful, of course. They oversee my projects. And then about 2 years into it, I got myself a partner. His name's Chris, and he actually created another visual.
Yes.
Our award-winning, we got kind of like a food Oscar. See, I'm still in the creative film-ish business.
Nice. But, overlap. I love it.
Tangerine siracha, and that's great on pretty much anything you'd put sriracha or hot sauce on.
Oh, my God.
And so he's been with me in about 2 years in, and we're coming up on our 8-year anniversary in the business.
God.
So
congrats.
Yeah,
that's
not
awesome.
alone. It's a team effort, and all my taste testers, they're part of the team.
Yeah, it's
friends, family.
It's a collaborative effort.
Definitely.
Now this all seems very sweet, very simple, but I'm sure there's challenges that you face on a day-to-day basis. I'm curious, what are some of the challenges in bringing Just Jams to life?
Okay, so some of the challenges, first off, of course, is trying to come up with what it is I like. If I don't like it, then I feel like that translates into what's in the final product. So that takes some work. Some are easier. Some recipes are easier than others to formulate and get so that they look good and they taste good and they're bright and flavorful. And then the next part of the challenge from that phase on is making sure that the co-packer who makes my product in larger batches, that they get it exactly like mine. Okay. That can sometimes be, I don't want to say it's easy sometimes, but there's times when it goes pretty quickly, and then there's other times when it can take quite a while. I had one product that took me 2 years to get in the jar the way I wanted it to be. It was a balsamic onion savory, and it was delicious, but again, had to be just right. So that's usually the second challenge, is making sure that it can get produced in batches, and do a side-by-side test with my product in my kitchen, and it's right on. Those are from a production standpoint. I know I'm still talking production, but see, producing film or producing jam.
Yeah, it's just it's all products.
So it is, and it's creative too. So I've kind of I'm just producing something different. So yeah, without the celebrity factor, which is different too. But so that's the other challenge, is making sure that it gets right, and of course continuing to gather new clients and customers along the way. So kind of knocking on doors in a way, or making cold calls and saying, hey, would you like to try my products and see if that would be a fit for your cheese store or your winery or your gourmet store. So those are probably the three main, and then keeping up with social media, which is like spinning plates. So
Yeah, I know all about that.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah. Now I'm curious, what has the response been for your product? Obviously, you started off small, but now you're huge. Have you made some like endearing friends along the way in the community and your customers?
Yes, actually. Well, we kind of early on made a friend. I guess if you want to call it some. In the gourmet world, William Sonoma asked me to make a few curds for them.
Okay.
So, and that was literally a year and a half into the business. So it was a pinch me moment. Okay. So that for me was kind of the end all be all. If you're in this business, that's kind of where you want to be, or at least have some kind of a relationship. And the fact that it happened so early on in my career, one, made me, just confirmed that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and it's continued to be a relationship. So I do recipes for them. It does have my name in the small print, so that's really cool.
Nice.
And I've also done work with Sur La Table, and we do some hotels. We work with some hotels for room service, which is kind of another big deal.
Okay.
And I'm one of my other first customers that was on a large scale was the Queen Mary down in Long Beach, and they rolled our product out with the Princess Diana exhibit that they had there on the ship, and that was again another one of those moments where I thought, wow, I'm going to be on the back wall in this cool tea room. So yeah, and other chefs too. I've got some chef friends now, and I love working with chefs and collaborating on if there's anything they want or something special that they're looking to use as a condiment or in addition to their recipe. That for me is a lot of fun. So it's about the creative process.
Right. And coupled with the love and care, you've got a winning product.
Yeah. Yes. Hopefully we'll win another Sophie Oscar.
Yeah, definitely. I see that in your future. Do you have a storefront? Is there a store in California where people can purchase this, or is it all online?
I don't have a storefront, so you can purchase it online at justjans.com. We are also on Amazon. We are just launched one product, which is going to hopefully turn into three, our raspberry curd into Cost Plus World Market nationwide.
Okay.
And that's a very exciting, just brand new this last week. And then on our website, there's a map of the stores that you can find us in nationwide. So we're just literally going store by store, and hopefully we'll be everywhere.
Okay.
At the end of this year.
Now, I'm curious. I'm just curious. What is curd exactly? Is that like a yogurt or a oatmeal type of substance?
So no, a curd is it's juice based. So I do a lemon curd. It's with Meyer lemons and regular Eureka lemons, and it's juice and sugar. The difference is it has a creamy texture because it has butter and eggs, and it's kind of like a custard, if you will. So think lemon meringue pie filling. Okay. That would be a curd, and it's very popular in England and the UK. And I guess the reason I did my lemon curd was, again, doing lemon meringue pies as a child, sort of just said I needed to do that. Anyway, it's one of my number one sellers, too. So
Awesome. Is there anything else you want to mention while you're here? Anything you want to promote, just the company in general?
Oh, my gosh. Well, thank you again for having me.
Oh,
I know this is a film-based program, and I appreciate you taking my film background, and now we're kind of funneling that producing experience into producing something else. But I would just show my cute little gift sets and hope that people just continue to spread the word, and the kindness of strangers continues to, show me that I'm doing the right thing by tasting and buying. So
I like what you did there. Spread the word.
Spread the word.
I love it. All right, Jan. Well, thank you so much. This was great. Best of luck with Just Jan's. It's a great company, and I hope to taste it real soon.
You'll be getting a sample, definitely.
Oh,
Thank you so much for having me. Have a great afternoon.
You too. Thank you so much.
Okay. See you. Bye.
Okay, guys, so we're going to take a short commercial break, but we'll be back with our film review segment right after this.
Under the Radar is brought to you by Magnitude Jewelry. Add a 2 to match your attitude. Patent pending interchange genuine gemstone and crystal EMF protection jewelry. For more information, please visit magnitudejewelry.com/gemgirl or call 718-268-6634.
And we're back. Hey guys, Under the Radar. I'm your host, Randy Unger. And right now I have two wonderful guest critics. I've got Mr. Justin Miles. Welcome back.
Hello, everyone.
Been a while.
Yes, it's been a while, but I'm glad to be here in front of the desk and in front of the camera.
There you go. True performer. Lovely, lovely man. And of course, Mr. Matt Roran.
I'm on this side this time.
I know, we're switching it up. We're mixing it up. It's great. So guys, we've got 3 movies this time. I know it's a lot, and I know that you didn't see one, but unfortunately I saw all 3.
Unfortunately?
Unfortunately, because it took a lot of time out of my life.
I was
No, they're actually 3 decent films, I must say. And I think we'll start with Carol of the Bells, which you didn't see. It's okay, it's fine. It was actually a really interesting movie. Going in, I was actually tempted to see it because of R.J. Mitty. He's the he was the son in Breaking Bad. He's not in that picture, obviously, but if you know Breaking Bad, you know his face. And basically, he plays a young man with a family. He doesn't really know whatever happened to his real-life mother, who actually is developmentally disabled. And basically, his wife goes to seek her out. And basically, they get reunited. It's really syrupy. It's sweet. And I was actually surprised. I thought it was a decent movie. It wasn't great, but I thought the acting was phenomenal, especially from the mother, Andrea F. Friedman. And since, Justin, you're the only one who saw it, what did you think?
Okay, so this is where I have to respectfully disagree.
No, again. It's like you never left.
I know, exactly. The spirit of criticism
Yes,
is
yes, I love
completely
it.
embodied, especially in the studio now. So, Carol of the Bells, I did not enjoy it.
Okay.
And there was a lot of issues with it. I think, for one, RJ Mitt?
I think it's Mitty.
Walt Jr.
Yes.
Flynn.
So Walt Jr.
Yes.
He's good in supporting roles. He's not good as a leading man.
Yeah.
His acting left a lot to be desired. I don't know, just like a weird, just kind of like dour performance, you know.
Right.
I didn't really enjoy that. So that was one mistake. And second of all, this is a Christmas movie, essentially.
Well, it takes place.
It takes place in Christmas.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but the problem is that the lighting, the tone of the film, usually if you're going to have like a Christmas film or like anything like holiday oriented, it would be reflected in, you know, the colors and the aesthetics of it. Yeah. And, you know, I get it's like kind of like a little bit of a depressing story,
It's
but
almost like a Hallmark film.
I definitely had that vibe too. Like it was very bland as far as like aesthetics.
Right.
You know, where like a lot of shadows, a lot of like there wasn't like a lot of color in the film, which was like it's kind of weird.
And the story was like very familiar. Like you've seen movies like this 100 times.
Yeah.
That's probably my only criticism. But you know what is an interesting note about this movie? It was released by a company, Inclusion Films, which I think is their first feature film, and basically their cast and crew, the majority of them are developmentally disabled. So basically, this film was released to try to highlight that in people.
Well, now you're making us feel bad.
No!
I didn't see it,
Yeah.
but
I mean, it's a little
you lost me
depressing.
at Walt Jr.
I mean, are you a fan of R.J. I mean,
I only know him from that role, and
Yeah.
like he's like I think the only part of the Breaking Bad universe that I just like.
yeah.
He's
He's all right. He does his best.
I mean, that's his character is supposed to be that way, so
Right.
he's great at being that.
He's actually a little kind of dashing in this role. I mean,
Ooh, dashing.
a little bit.
I would not say dashing.
compared to Walt Jr.
Well, I mean, yeah, of course, by comparison.
But you know,
it's a different. It's
very different.
completely different.
And I'm curious. I was reading up on the movie, and I could not find. Was he supposed to be develomentally disabled in this role, or I mean, he seemed pretty.
Was Walt Jr. supposed to be developmentally challenged on Breaking Bad?
He just was holding those things
I
for the
didn't
hell
really
of it.
get a read. I didn't get a
He was
read
sort
on
of just
that.
like an everyman. Yeah.
Yeah, which I guess is like it's not a problem. The problem is, just like his acting is like really subpar in this. Like it wasn't really like a really good performance.
Right.
And also, I also want to highlight again another strike about the film is that like the cinematography is like just really bland.
Yeah.
It feels very Hallmark TV. There's not a lot of interesting shots. There's not anything interesting going on as far as like the framing.
I
and
think
the
the
colors
most of the
and
money
everything.
went to RJ's paycheck. I'm pretty sure.
I have a feeling, and it's kind of unfortunate because like a story about that, there was something to grasp onto, and I do appreciate having actors who are developmentally disabled, and and including that in the script as well.
Yeah.
And there's traces of a good movie in here somewhere, but from the performances, from the cinematography, from like
Screenplay was a little
from
something
the,
to be desired.
the screenplay being like really simple and
Right,
kind
right.
of one note. It's like I can't give a good recommendation on this.
Really?
This
So
is,
is this a skip for you?
yeah, this is a hard skip actually.
Wow.
This is a hard skip.
I would. You know what? I went in thinking this is terrible. But then I think maybe half an hour in, I'm like, you know what? I'll give this movie a chance. It has a strong message. I'm respecting it. And I say, see it, guys. It's on my radar. You didn't see it, but from the description,
like I said, you lost me at Walt Jr. Also, his review of this movie makes me totally want to hard skip it. Because you're even like, it was pure garbage. But about a half hour in, I'm like, I'll finish it.
no, not I was starting to genuinely like it. It was actually well acted from some of the actors, but yeah,
I don't know. Well,
no, you're not interested.
I'll give it 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I have it queued up on my Vimeo. I will give it 15 minutes. The screener.
Yeah, I mean, it's all good, but yeah. Okay, so that's Carol of the Bells, guys, and yeah, we have some mixed reviews right here.
I would say very mixed.
Yes.
Very mixed.
But moving on to the movie you saw, and
Yes.
I saw as well, Escape from Pretoria. Basically, it's about two South Africans, one played by Daniel Radcliffe, and they're basically they get arrested for trying to spread propaganda against the apartheid in 1979 South Africa. This film was pretty decent. I mean, it's a lot better than Carol of the Bells, I think. But
It has to be.
Yeah. And that's not because Daniel Radcliffe is in it, but it had a really good, true story. And, some of the scenes were so tense. Like,
Yeah,
most of the movie is tense.
And I would say, based on Radcliffe alone, like it's one of those things. I'm one of those people. I've never seen a Harry Potter movie.
None?
Never seen any of them.
Huh, I'm surprised. Because you're a fantasy sci-fi guy.
It was like it came out, and I'm like, I have Lord of the Rings. What do I need this for?
That's a good point.
Then I started reading the first book.
Yeah.
And it was like,
Why?
I'm like, what is this? Like, he's at his uncle's house? I don't care about this. So I just...
All right.
But everything I've seen him in after those movies,
Yeah.
I have absolutely loved.
He's a strong
I think
actor.
he's tremendous.
Yeah, he's a great actor.
I mean, he played William S. Burroughs.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like...
What was it, the Road? Or, no, not the
No,
Road.
it was... I can't remember the name of the movie. But it was... Ben Foster... Was Ben Foster played? I mean, he played William S. Burroughs.
Okay.
And then, but
He also did a romantic comedy a few years back called What If, I think it was called.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
He's in his portfolio of work is like it's
Scattered.
It's literally everything, but
Yeah.
he delivers good performances in
he's
everything.
He's so
very talented actor.
And he's only 30. Like he's done a lot in that time. But this film, all the scenes of him, making the keys.
Oh yeah, he's making keys out of wood.
Yeah, sneaking around with his fellow inmate, played by Daniel Weber, and
in a '70s South African prison.
Yeah.
So it's like, there's not just like a bar's door. There's a thick metal door.
yeah.
There's all kinds of.
There's at least 4 locks that he has to make different keys for and whatever.
He makes all kinds of like simple machines. To go about this. It's a very interesting prison break movie, and it's based on reality.
Yeah, I'm sure it wasn't that exciting in real life.
I don't know. I mean, like, think about the situation you're in.
True.
Because it's like, especially what they had to work with. They broke out of prison, like, for real. These people, like, that's pretty incredible.
It
like,
is.
to break out of, like, that prison, like.
Yeah. But I wasn't, like, blown away by
Oh,
it.
I definitely was not blown away by the movie.
I was just curious to see what Radcliffe was going to do with it.
It had very strong performances.
Yeah.
I liked most of it. I just didn't think it was great.
Yeah.
It was a good movie. You normally don't see movies about the apartheid, like it's
in that light.
Yeah,
like
as opposed to like 50 million World War II films,
exactly,
or like anything about the Holocaust. Like a classic Oscar bait.
Yep.
I don't think this is gonna win or
even
be nominated
they won't even get nominated
for anything. But Justin, are you a big prison movie guy?
I do like historical films, especially. So that's definitely in my wheelhouse.
Okay.
This would definitely be worth it, at least a look. Absolutely.
Yeah. I wish you got a chance to see it. But
unfortunate, but
you will.
Life gets in the way sometimes.
Life finds a way. Yeah. Sorry.
Life finds a way to get in my way.
Yeah. Ooh, I like that. That should be on bumper stickers.
Yeah, but I'm definitely getting a feeling that this is a very good movie, one to absolutely check out.
Yeah, I would say see it if you can. I mean, it's not like something I would like seek out.
Yeah.
But if it's streaming, check it out.
Yeah, I mean, this just came across my radar, and I was like, it sounds sort of interesting.
It's a great story.
Yeah.
It's freedom fighters. Just like kind of like it's kind of an aspect of it we never see.
Yeah.
And in a historical time period that is very rarely captured in Western cinema. So like that's good as well.
Right. It's definitely a unique story. And the fact that it actually happened makes it all that more dramatic.
Yeah.
So that's the aspect I like. All right. So see it, skip it.
See it.
I say see it too. And guys, we have our third and final film review, but first I want to take another commercial break from our lovely sponsor at Magnitude Jewelry. Here is that commercial. Enjoy.
Under the Radar is brought to you by Magnitude Jewelry. Add a 2 to match your attitude. Patent pending interchange genuine gemstone and crystal EMF protection jewelry. For more information, please visit magnitudejewelry.com/gemgirl or call 718-268-66.
Hey guys, welcome back to Under the Radar, and this is our third and final film review of the day. We've got the new thriller, The Invisible Man, and basically it's a modern-day retelling of the classic H.G. Wells story. Elizabeth Moss right there is trying to survive her ex-boyfriend who fakes his own death, creates an invisibility suit and stalks her. And basically, the results are pretty great, I must say. I mean, I thought this movie was a lot better than it was advertised as, and I thought that Elizabeth Moss killed it. She was fantastic as the heroine in this tale, and it's actually a sort of a good commentary on the Me Too movement and all that stuff. But Justin, what were your thoughts?
Okay, so I came into it basically no information, so like no trailers, no behind the scenes. Just went into it completely blind, completely invisible, you could say.
I like that. It's clever, man.
So so overall, it's a really great movie. Like good. Shockingly good. You mentioned a little bit before about like it's commentary on the Me Too movement, and that's definitely a big part of the plot. Yeah. But also they managed to have this character, this premise that is like so antiquated, like based on the H.G. Wells novels and like a lot of like really campy sort of film adaptations, like all 20 of them. There's been like a ton. But like this one, it's grounded in a little bit of a reality with the optic suits and like all the technology with that, but also like as a straight up like horror film, like it works.
I wouldn't call it horror. I'd call it thriller action.
I mean,
sci-fi thriller.
I gotta say, like, I haven't had a movie like actually like feel this scary to me in a long time. Because it's like,
well, thanks to Blumhouse,
it's possible that I mean, like, the technology's there. It could happen. Yeah. But it's like, I mean, way more than, wow, I'm going to drink this magic serum. No one can see me. Right. Like, it's like one of those things where it's a really frightening, I mean, especially like, she's in a mental institution. Yeah. And like, it's like no one believes her. Just like that whole, like, no one believes
psychological,
like, psychologically terrifying. Yeah. Like, it's probably the scariest movie that's been out in a long time.
I think it's definitely one of the scariest of the year so far. And you mentioned methods in which people in movies get invisible. Become invisible. You're a big John Carpenter fan.
Oh, but I mean, Memoirs of an Invisible Man.
I love Memoirs of an Invisible Man. Are you a fan, Justin?
Chevy Chase, my friend.
Oh my God,
it's a good film. It's not in my top 10.
No, it's a fun one for me.
It's not my. It's like maybe like my 10th favorite John Carpenter movie, maybe.
Okay,
but it's fair. It's like
it's solid.
It's closer to the movies I don't like than the ones I do like.
But back to the technology. There's like some kind of chemical malfunction or something in the building, in this laboratory. Chevy Chase just so happens to be in the building, and the whole building becomes invisible. They never kind of explain it. They kind of have this scientific jargon, and mumbo jumbo, and we never really like fusion, I think, is involved. But that was kind of ridiculous. I'll say, but I love that movie. Anyway, this suit. It looks awesome.
Science.
Yeah, science. Seriously, please.
Modernizing the premise so that like it could actually work. Yeah. It's something that's like at least like tangentially like a little bit believable.
You can grasp that. It's like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we're past spoiler territory here, but the suit.
Well, I mean, honestly, most of it is in the trailer.
Yeah. So the suit is made up of little cameras, right? Yeah. And what are they bend light like the Predator?
Essentially, which is stuff that's been in DARPA and the military, for quite some time now, especially.
Okay.
So. Yeah, so in that premise, I mean, like, it definitely works. It recontextualizes it. And also, like, hands down, like, great use of silence, great use of tension. Yeah. Like, and cinematography is, like, it's off the charts. Like, it's really good. Just, like, the slow pans, how, like, you could feel that something's there, but it isn't.
The use of light and lack of light is really phenomenal.
Yeah, and an absolutely great performance.
Yeah, from Moss.
Yes, by Moss especially. Like she was absolutely great. Like hit every single bell.
I don't think it's gonna happen, but an Oscar nomination, I think it.
This movie came out in February. It's not gonna get nominated for anything.
Well, maybe not visual effects. I mean, I kind of want it to just be nominated for something.
I mean, it's
sound mixing, maybe?
It should. I mean, she was fantastic. She really was fantastic. And it's like that movie, it honestly, like, watching that movie, it feels like you are being watched.
Yeah.
Like it's like one of those things. Like it feels like you're there and you're being watched, and it's a very intense movie.
Yeah, I give Lee Winnell as the director, and I don't know if that's a man or a woman, but they did a wonderful job here, just creating an atmosphere that is just so terrifying.
Yeah.
And Elizabeth Moss it's her movie. Like, you never see Adrian really till the very end.
Right.
You know?
And it's all about the performance.
Yeah,
Almost.
of
Like
course.
she knocks it out of the park, and especially like and the script is like pretty tight, you know,
Yeah.
for kind of like a ridiculous kind of premise.
Yeah.
If I were to have like any kind of criticisms, I think maybe like some of the effects were like
Cheesy.
They were a little cheesy,
Yeah.
especially so. Again, spoiler territory. we're past it at this
It's
point.
fine.
But her sister,
Yeah.
who gets
Oh, yep.
sliced in the restaurant,
Yep.
and it looked a little goofy.
Yeah.
And I don't know, just like the way it is, like we saw too much of the effect, so it kind of like lost.
It was kind of gimmicky.
I would have liked it
yeah.
better if like it was panning or it was still on like Moss's face, and then it happens, and then you get like a turn. And also, maybe I get that like the Invisible Man, like in this movie, he's like it's an actual thing. It's acting upon like other people, especially the cops in the psych ward. I would have maybe liked it if it was more of a twist of like, no, she's actually imagining it,
Yeah.
or have like an
That's
unreliable.
what it would be like.
I think everyone
Yeah.
was thinking that. This
I
is
thought
all in her
going
head.
in, it's like, oh, it's gonna be like she's actually crazy. But
Yeah,
Right,
like if
she
there was
really
an
killed
actual
these
like
people.
if there was like an unreliable narrator sort of setup
right,
to
right.
it, I feel like that would have been
More effective.
more effective. But what they did here is also really astounding too.
Yeah.
Like it's really good. So
Yeah, and you know what, guys?
Yeah.
I wanted to talk a little about the failed attempt at the Universal Monster franchise. Like,
Okay.
remember, you remember a few years ago, Tom Cruise in The Mummy. How they
Oh, yeah.
they wanted that be the first film of the Universal Monsters.
Oh, I totally forgot that they were trying for that.
Yeah, that was like 2016, 17,
Yeah.
and it tanked. Nobody, went to see it. It was terrible. I didn't even see it, but
Yeah, I didn't see
you didn't
it.
see it. Did you see The Mummy, Tom Cruise? Oh,
I saw
that expression.
I saw the trailer,
You saw the trailer
with
alone.
no sound, which really set the tone for a movie that just like completely collapsed, fell off the earth,
Yeah.
and made like nothing. Although this does bring up the question, is The Invisible Man, this film, is it a part of the quote-unquote dark universe?
I don't know. I mean, they wanted to do back again with The Mummy. They wanted to do Invisible Man with, I think, Johnny Depp cast.
Yeah.
He was rumored.
And they're already talking about the success of this movie.
Yeah.
Doing Frankenstein.
Okay.
next.
Who were they thinking is?
I do not know yet, but
Okay.
hopefully it's not Robert De Niro.
We are in rumor territory.
Yeah, we're in
Yeah,
rumor territory.
Who would you like to see as Frankenstein?
Not Walt Jr.
He's booked. He's
booked.
yeah.
Although, actually,
This
Bryan
is a
Cranston,
sequel.
maybe?
That's interesting. He's kind of old.
He
Well,
is-
I mean,
well, that's perfect.
We're talking about the monster, not the doctor. Right?
Oh, yeah, the monster.
Okay, we're
That's
talking about
what-
the monster.
I'm envisioning the monster with
Yeah.
that, with Bryan
I'm
Cranston.
envisioning the Doctor.
Nice. Ooh, from the makers of Breaking Bad, Frankenstein.
Yeah,
Vince
exactly.
Gilligan's Frank. I mean,
Yeah.
Hey, I love Hancock. Yeah, he wrote that.
He wrote. That was terrible.
Hancock is amazing.
What? I'm not a fan.
So
I love the score. John Powell is amazing.
So to kind of bring it back to The Invisible Man,
Yes.
what did you think of the ending?
The ending. I wasn't really surprised. I wasn't impressed by the ending. I wasn't shocked by the ending. But yeah, it was cool. Yeah, seeing the boyfriend die in the end.
Yeah, and also a possible setup to the Invisible Woman, since that's also established,
Isn't that
and
a
many
fan-
different things as well.
Isn't that a Fantastic Four superhero?
Well, yes, it also.
Well, that's Invisible Girl of the
Oh, Invisible-
Fantastic
She
Four.
does become the Invisible Woman, though.
Eventually.
Eventually, once she's like, they get married. It's like, oh, okay, now you're a woman. You're a woman.
Oh God, this is getting weird. But okay, so we got Invisible Man. Do you really think this is going to jumpstart the Universal Dark?
No, because the next one is gonna fail.
I mean, I've been meaning to see this stuff like this since the Monster Squad.
I know. You know, it's like it's bound to happen
They
eventually.
could have done this back in '99 with the first Mummy with Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, well, he's back. He's back. You know, he came back to acting.
He's Frankenstein now.
Once the Tom Cruise movie came out and bombed, all of a sudden he reappeared on our radar.
Oh, is he doing another Mummy?
Not another. I don't know. I hope so.
Yeah, Rick O'Connell, man.
I just want to see more of him.
Yeah, me
so
too.
1999 was before the Marvel experiment.
Right.
So that's and so many studios and so many companies like trying to think like, oh, we can make this into like this giant saga spanning
Right, right.
movies.
Yeah.
From my knowledge, I don't think this movie is a part of the Dark Universe. I think that's pretty much kaput for the most part.
Yeah.
But it might be. I mean, you know,
It's
who
possible.
knows?
I mean, Blumhouse is doing very well this past decade. They've come out with some great titles. Most recently, it wasn't terrific, but the intent was good. Fantasy Island.
I enjoyed it.
You enjoyed
It was
it.
ridiculous, but
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it wasn't very. It was fun though.
You know, and then they did the Halloween movie, which was fantastic.
Aren't they coming out with 2 more?
Yeah, they're doing the Halloween Kills. Is it the
Yeah, I think that's later this year, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, in terms of horror and just fun movies.
Yeah,
you
I
know.
mean they're mostly hit or miss, Blumhouse, but like.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one is it's a definite hit.
It's a hit.
Definitely,
It's a hit, yeah.
even if you're not even like very interested about it, I mean, give it a look. It's
Yeah.
probably like, as far as like substantial horror films within the past year, I mean, like,
Yeah.
you know, you can't go wrong with it.
Don't
It's
let it
good.
be invisible on your radar.
Ooh, I like that.
That is so good.
Open your
so
eyes.
good.
Open your eyes and see the Invisible Man.
Throw some paint on it
Yes.
so you can check it out.
Damn it! Another spoiler. I love it. All right, guys. So yeah, The Invisible Man. It's out now. It's great. It's just a fun time. So go check it out, guys.
Yeah.
Real briefly, guys. We have about 10 minutes left. I want to just talk about this wonderful gift that Mr. Matt Roran has given Under the Radar and myself. Barry Sonnenfeld, Call Your Mother. The new book, I believe it's a memoir.
Yeah.
Barry Sonnenfeld, the filmmaker responsible for Men in Black, the whole series, actually.
He did, yeah. The
He did-
the original 3.
He did the original trilogy and the 4th Dumpster Fire. I don't know what happened. He was probably producer on
He
that.
produced that one.
Right.
Yeah, he's not. But he did Wild Wild West,
Adam's Family.
and Values,
Yep.
as well as being a cinematographer
For
for
many
the Coen brothers.
Many Coen brothers.
Blood Simple,
Miller's Crossing.
Raising Arizona,
Miller's Crossing.
Miller's
I
Crossing,
think he might have been in 1 or 2 of them too.
and he also was cinematographer on Big,
Yep.
When Harry Met Sally,
Oh man.
and Misery.
Nice.
So
That is quite a filmography, Barry.
yeah,
Justin, I'm sure you're a fan of some of those titles. Are you a fond fan of the Sonnenfeld filmography?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like he's has a legacy all on its own.
Yeah, man.
And his work throughout the decades in the motion picture industry, it's like it's second to none. And he's not the household name of like, you know, a Spielberg or you know, that kind of caliber. But like, you know, he should get his due.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Get Shorty. I forgot about.
Oh
Get
my
Shorty.
God, that's such a good one.
yeah.
It's like the list goes on and
Yeah, no,
on.
it's
Favorite out of cinematography and directing.
all right. Cinematography wise, it was a tough question because it's like I would say out of the cinematography of the film, I'm gonna go with Misery.
Oh man. And you know,
I mean, I would say that Raising Arizona is my favorite film of his he's worked on,
okay.
but cinematography wise, I'm going with
Misery. Okay. I mean, I like the first Men in Black a lot. It's a fun one. Maybe a tie between that and Barton Fink. Did he do Barton Fink?
He didn't do Barton Fink,
He did
no.
Miller's Crossing.
Miller's Crossing.
Yeah. That's
yeah. I mean,
Oh
his
my
work on
God.
Miller's Crossing and Blood Simple are amazing.
Yeah.
And Raising Arizona's, you know, they're fantastic films.
Of
you know,
course.
like just, whew.
And just it's been a while since you've been on the show. Favorite Coen Brothers film? If you have to name one, or 3, it's fine.
You know, this kind of come out of left field.
Yes.
True Grit. So,
Okay.
Wow,
so
nice.
the recent remake,
Right,
which
Jeff
was
Bridges.
several years ago,
Yeah.
which I think is like a dark horse of his, and I like that film. I enjoyed that film.
You know,
a
I think
lot.
that was nominated for a few Oscars. 2011 11, 12? Maybe even...
10 to 12. It's in the tens, that's for sure. Yeah.
And I think Bridges did that film right after, or just like a year or two after, Crazy Heart.
Crazy Heart,
yeah. Which he won for that.
Yeah.
And Truebit was also kind of like this gritty, drunken cowboy
Yeah,
type.
I think it was the year
pretty
after.
much.
I think since Crazy Hearts, though, that Oscar when he's become a little typecast in that role. He's never shaved.
Tomahawk. Like,
Yeah.
it's like always like, oh, that's you now.
I know. And you know what? Something came to me. Last week we reviewed the Jesus Rolls.
Oh, yeah.
Which is like a spin-off film on The Big Lebowski. It was bad. Like, it took them 22 years.
Totoro.
He wrote, directed, and starred in this crap, and it's like a slap in the face to Coen Brothers fans. So I don't know. You guys, I'm assuming, are big Lebowski buffs.
I am.
Yeah.
I am. It was the first film screened at Call Cafe.
Really?
Well, second. The first was a documentary a friend of ours made, but the first cult classic we played was Big Lebowski.
Oh man, that is such a great choice.
That was the first one, and sold out the house. Like, we oversold it, and it was tremendous.
Oh my god! Yeah, a few years ago,
We're showing it again at the cinema.
Are you?
The first Friday in April, I believe.
It's coming up.
Yep.
All right. I might go to that. We'll see. Have you guys been to Lebowski Fest or been tempted to go?
No, I haven't.
Oh my god! I think every year they do it.
Yeah.
In major cities. A few years ago, I went to the one in Manhattan, and there were just cosplay Big Lebowski people.
Yeah.
It was at a bowling alley, of course.
We raffled off a rug. We found a rug that looked the most like
Not
that
on the rug, man.
And we raffled it off. There's a picture on our Facebook page of the winner of that rug with the rug.
Was it the same?
We tried to get it to look as similar as possible.
Okay, I should have been there. That sounds awesome. All right, guys. So we got like 5 minutes left. Films we've seen lately. Want to see soon?
I saw Onward this weekend.
Oh, really?
I really liked it.
Okay, I'm not a huge. I mean, I love Pixar, but I don't like fantasy. It's like about elves, right?
Well, it's a weird thing because it's a fantasy film that takes place in basically this fantastical world with like fairies and trolls and whatever.
Like sort of like Bright, the Will Smith movie.
Okay, I didn't see that movie.
Terrible. But anyway,
I skipped that one. But it's basically in a world where like magic is no longer a part of it. Like nobody flies and like all the it's kind of like it's been forever, and there's kind of like a rediscovering of magic through. Really, it's a story about family.
Okay.
It's two brothers, which is Tom Holland and Chris Pratt.
Both in the Avengers.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Basically, their father, who passed away when Tom Holland's character was a little kid, so he never really met him. Mm-hmm. For his, was it 16th birthday, he left him like this magic wand that would let him reappear, just so they could say goodbye or whatever. Okay. It's like a really heartwarming tale.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Okay.
It got some tears out of me.
All right.
So,
good to know. Carol the Bells actually made me kind of misty, to be honest with you. So.
Again with this Carol of the Bells.
It's not as bad as it seems.
How much are they paying you, Randy?
Not enough.
I'm not even gonna dignify.
I know, Justin. I love it. I love your criticism. It's good. But what have you seen anything good lately?
So I've recently rewatched the Blu-ray edition of the Akira film. So seminal anime, one of the bedrocks of the entire animation movement, and even going back to it. It's a work of art. It's really a marvel, and how they managed to condense all the volumes of the manga into 1 2.5 hour film. Animation's off the charts quality. It's thought provoking. Some of the plots are a little but there's a lot of really good commentary, and there's overall just Akira's a great film even after all these decades later.
It's just one film? I'm not really familiar with the universe.
So it is, well, not including the manga series, which, has volumes and volumes. The Akira movie is just one standalone film.
Okay.
That's all. And it's great.
It's animation.
It's anime.
Oh, anime.
It's anime. It's Japanese anime.
You know what? If you're into anime, I think it just passed, but
Carol of the Bells. They made an anime version of it. It's coming out.
I would see that.
The Carol of the Bells
Yes.
anime.
That would be frightening. No. No, but Justin, look into it. Katsucon. I don't know if you're familiar.
Katsucon.
Katsucon is a convention. It's like a weekend-long convention about anime.
Okay.
And
I mean, there are
Yeah,
a few of them.
I think this is it's just outside D.C. or Philly. And basically people walk around. They sleep. It's at a convention center / hotel. And basically people are like sleeping they're like hanging out in the street, in the
So it's anime.
hallways.
It's Anime Expo,
Yeah, thank you.
essentially.
But check it out, guys. Katsucon. I'm not into it myself, but a lot of people, including Justin, are.
Well, if you're into that sort of thing.
Yeah. No, I
You
think
know.
you might like it, though.
Maybe. I have
And they have
this,
a rave, actually.
well, so
Yes.
I have this one track where I do like anime. I don't like a lot of anime fandom, and I
Okay.
think it's. I mean, there's a few fandoms that are pretty toxic, and I consider most anime fandom kind of like a little bit toxic. So
Why is that?
more embarrassing than anything else. Like, I appreciate the art form, I do appreciate it, but I think there's a little bit of like cringe associated with it. But enjoy what you enjoy.
Yeah.
And I definitely enjoy it, for the stories and for the artwork and everything like that.
Yeah.
It stands right next to, Western animation. Disney and Pixar, a lot of them do.
Yeah.
But, if you're a fan of stuff, enjoy it. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. Enjoy what you want to enjoy.
I
You
like
do
that.
you.
Yes.
You do.
All right, guys. So we've got some. Actually, we didn't do your plugs first. So, Matt, anything you want to plug? The cafe, of course.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll start with Wednesday night at the Cinema Arts Center. We got Joe Bob Briggs. If you're not familiar with Joe Bob
Yes.
Briggs, he is
TNT.
an icon. He is a legendary horror host.
Yep. He's great.
I mean, he is like the last. I mean, sorry to every other horror host out there, but he's the last true great horror host.
Elvira's gonna call soon.
Elvira, like if Elvira was still actively doing stuff, I would, I would definitely have her in there. But like,
Yeah.
as far as on a national wide, like I'm not talking about like your horror hosts for like like this part of Pennsylvania, but like on a nationwide thing, he's always had a show on. He's been on several channels.
Yeah.
I
remember
TNT, USA.
Monster Vision.
It was Cinemax or Showtime.
Probably.
He had a cable one. Now he's on
Online.
Shudder and AMC, I believe.
I think Shudder. Yeah. Definitely
but
Shudder.
he's doing a presentation on how Rednex saved Hollywood, and he's going to be there on Wednesday night at the Cinema Arts Center in Huntington.
Oh man.
I suggest you be there. I will be there.
That's so cool.
And then Saturday night, we continue with our second film into our Women's History Month called Cafe Series with Sofia Coppola's The Virgin Suicides, which is a classic. I believe it was her directorial debut.
Maybe.
And,
it's an early one for sure.
So
That was 20 years ago. Yeah.
yeah, it's crazy. It's 20 years ago, and it's a strong film, and we're showing that Saturday night at Call Cafe in Huntington, 10 p.m.
And that's where I got this wonderful book, and I've gone to a number of screenings there, and you're always a great host, and it's just a great place. I can't praise it enough. And if I lived closer, I'd be there every weekend. Mr. Miles, anything you want to plug?
No, I got nothing.
At all?
Nothing.
That's it?
Nothing.
Okay.
I lost my domain. I'm in shambles right now.
Okay. But you're here now physically, right?
I don't know.
Okay, you're here. You're alive. That's good.
It's an illusion.
Oh, I like that.
I'm invisible.
Oh, I like that. Nice way to end. All right, guys. So, Magnitude Jewelry, our wonderful sponsor. We've got a few events coming up. March 20th to the 22nd is the Body, Mind, Spirit Celebration Fair in Denver, Colorado. Also, there is an event in Long Island. I don't have the dates or location for that yet. Also, the New Life Expo is coming up in May. And if you guys haven't been to the New Life Expo, it's great. It's all like gurus and psychics and health food experts.
24-hour screening of Carol of the Bells.
No, you're never gonna
all night long.
You're never
All
gonna
day
let me
long.
live this down. And that's awesome. But
Just playing over and over again.
yeah. But guys, I want to thank you so much. This was great. You guys are always welcome. You know that. Thank you. Yes. And everyone watching at home and on your devices, I want to thank you. Also, before I go, I want to mention that there will be no new Under the Radar next weekend because I will be in Boston at the St. Patrick's Day Parade, marching with the Ghostbusters. So,
Will the Dropkick Murphys be there?
possibly we could see about that. I don't. But I won't be here for that weekend. But the following week I'll be back with more movie reviews and interviews. And yeah, guys, I want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Take care, guys.
See ya.
Under the Radar is all new next week with more movie reviews and interviews on Strong Island Radio and Television. Stay tuned. We'll see you next week.